Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Did you think I'd been replaced altogether there by AI? Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream and the podcast. How about a little bit of applause as well? A gentle smattering behind the scenes there. How are you this morning? Yes. The main news, well, there's big news here actually at Good Morning Portugal. We are, I heard the music today, good, wrong mic. Oh, okay, let's get all of that sorted out. I have been rejigging things behind the scenes because, yeah, the big news, of course, is Storm Hagrid. It's actually Storm Ingrid, but let's upgrade. Oh, yeah, microphone. Let's. Is that any better there, T-Duck? Let's see if that's working for you better now. Can barely hear you. Okay, I'll shout if necessary, but that should be better now. And the decent sounding microphone. Okay, and let me just click on that button there. That might fixed. Okay, fantastic. All right, and I think we've got the right camera. And we're also getting ready to introduce GuMPy. Full name Gumpetta. She is our new AI co-host here on Good Morning Portugal. So very excited actually about introducing her to you and the Good Morning Portugal community. And at 8:30 this morning, we've also got Christopher Kirby-Higgs with his real estate trend predictions for 2026 as well at around 8:40. But yeah, we need to talk about the weather, do we not? Hence why I'm wrapped up here. I hope you're battening down the hatches. We've got a few images, memes from X. Weather Watch has been all over it. ITMA have announced a red warning, I think, for the next 48 or 72 hours. So pretty serious weather-wise. Storm of the week then, Ingrid. But let's upgrade Ingrid to Hagrid. Storm Hagrid seems quite appropriate. And it's very mild, actually. The temperature is pretty mild, but we are facing snow in the interior and wind and rain, lashing wind and rain on the coast here. So we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's say a few hellos. Just how excited are you about seeing GuMPy here this morning? What could possibly go wrong? New sponsor, product placement for the yes, North Face. If you are watching, this was given to me. There's an interesting backstory to this gilet, which it actually is it seems to be a magnet for all sorts of detritus. Mrs. M doesn't like it when I go out in this. This is only for dog walking and wearing around the home, but it is a good quality thing, full of duck down, I think. Oh, sorry, T-Duck. But a very, very good gilet it is, but it does seem to attract all manner of cooking detritus and so on. Bon dia alegria from you. And you heard the music. Okay, who knows what's... I think weird stuff is happening at YouTube. They tinker with it on a very regular basis. My views were way up. Now I'm not doing anything too dissimilar to what I was doing before, but the views are down. It's really, I don't know. I think they have to keep changing the algorithm so that nobody can catch up with it. And it's just a matter of luck whether or not you hit the algorithm right. And yeah, whether you can see the things you want to see and whether the producers can get to the people they want to get to. Okay, I think we're all good sound and vision wise, which is good because GuMPy will be joining us soon. I'd like to say that an AI co-host will be being massaged. We'll be having a sip of coffee, maybe some croissants in the green room, the virtual green room. But no, of course, AI workers don't need anything. They are just standing by to suddenly be working. And that's what we face, don't we, in the workforce? They're very low maintenance. They're either working or they're not. And we're going to find out what it's like to have a live co-host, GuMPy, here on the Good Morning Portugal show this morning. What's going on? The Barcelos rooster appears to be pecking some sort of steampunk contraption. Yeah, that is, look, this is a beautiful Portuguese countryside rural scene. And there is a robot there. Just get used to it. It's a vision of the future, everybody. And here for the purposes of fair play, it might be GuMPy's shop steward. You never know. And I'm looking forward to having you asking questions of GuMPy. Everything you say, of course, it's like what you see in the movies. Everything. No, that's not GuMPy. This is GuMPy. Let me show you a picture of GuMPy. This is the best visualization we have at the moment of GuMPy, and this will improve. This is a process of constant iteration, but we've hit the ground running thanks to Mariam. We've got quite the most amazing bit of technology that is GuMPy, who will be talking to you and is getting ready to do so after we've said hello and had a look at the weather. Now, I think that's GuMPy shop steward or mum, maybe, or first gen or something like that behind me. And yeah, and I was about to say, if you are going to be asking questions of GuMPy, remember that everything is remembered. So be polite and know that if you are up in front of the International Digital Court in 2032 for something you said that was a bit off to GuMPy, think about that now. Don't let that happen. I'm thinking of you particularly, Pete. We do have to be polite, don't we, when we're addressing artificial intelligence, because it can remember everything, even more than my wife. You look cold. Brr, the rain and the storms are holding up my streaming photos and aerial so I can list my land for sale. Oh, is this in Portugal? Give us some details. We might be able to help you here, Gina. I think you are looking to is that right? Tell us what the situation is and how we can help. If you will. Oh yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that. Taking photos and waiting for the rain and storms. We are in for. Let's have a look at that now. Actually, we're in for some big weather. We do the biggest weather here on the Iberian Peninsula. It would appear for this coming weekend. This is this IPMA's. This is IPMA's image here. Let me just take your comment off the screen there, Gina. Looking forward to talking to GuMPy in just a moment. Full name Gumpetta. GuMPy looks like an awful, affluent, white female urban liberal. Oh, okay. That's an interesting acronym, isn't it? An awful. Oh, I see what you did there. That is an acronym already. Did you just say that so you could squeeze that acronym in there, T-Duck? Look at the red rim of Portugal. Now, nobody wants a red rim first thing in the morning, any time of the day, over the wet Wales. You threw me there. I saw your comment at the corner of my eye. Morning to you, Gary. Nobody wants a red rim around your Atlantic front. I wouldn't have thought. This is what it's looking like from IPMA's point of view. It's probably a really good place to keep in touch with the weather patterns. Kind of. I mean, who's getting a reliable weather forecast at the moment? But the evidence of my own eyes tells me that the lashing rain, strong winds, definitely, and the promise of some snow. So you central Portugal folks, we might have lost Matty and Pete already to the snow with their signals. Although they are Pete's definitely Starlink based, isn't he? And we've got Matty on a generator as well. So hopefully we'll be hearing from them this morning. And we'd welcome your weather reports from around the country. Also from Weather Advisory. We've got Weather Watcher, Weather Advisory, various memes. It's difficult to see who the originator of them is. So whoever made these, thank you very much indeed. Storm Ingrid impacts on Iberia. This is a day ago. The weather will start to deteriorate on Friday. Oh, that's today. Heavy rain and strong gusts will come along. Colder air will come alongside colder air. Possibly this will lead to what is that AI? To one of the biggest snowfall events in the last years in the region. Over 1 meter of snow will fall in the highest peaks. So snow is forecast across Iberia. You can see there, and in the northeast of Portugal. Heavy rain across most of the country, and wind and swell, and not swell in the old-fashioned American sense, but strong gusts. No one likes a strong gust first thing in the morning, unless it's your own, of course. And one more weather shot. Is this IPMA? I don't know. But you can see there again, we are veering towards the red, especially in the north of Portugal. They're the northwest of Portugal, feeling it most. Many of these are circulating, but I think you get the general picture. In fact, let's do this other weather warning that I saw just recently. I think it's our friend Tasha in the United States. Weather, snow possible anywhere from 0 to 172 inches, maybe. Could start at 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 o'clock. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not, possibly none. That's pretty much the weather, isn't it? That's some accurate weather forecasting right there. So is it time to bring GuMPy on? We've got our essential Portugal essentials this morning, and number 2 is the SNS number, a very important number, of course.
here in Portugal. We did the NIF number yesterday, and that was pretty popular, I have to say, as a YouTube short, and hopefully that's a useful resource to people, as will all of these 100 Portugal essentials, starting with the big hitters, the NIF yesterday and the SNS number today. We'll do that with GuMPy to see if she has any comments to share about that as well. And don't forget, if you've got any questions for GuMPy, get them ready, put them in the chat, and I'll make sure she can hear them. And we look forward to her answers as well. I'm getting tired of this rain. 4 days no cigar. Close but no cigar. And 4 days no cigar, the new trending phrase. I'm getting tired of this rain. Well, yeah, I think we all are, aren't we? And maybe when we speak to Christopher, we can say, Christopher, somebody who's grown up mainly in Portugal, is this normal or not? I still can't get a real answer on that, or haven't had a satisfactory answer from anyone, ranging from, yeah, this is quite normal, it's called winter for a reason, you idiot, sort of vibes, to no, definitely not, it's the end of the world. No snow here. It is mildly moist. It is mild, isn't it? Rain often brings warmer temperatures, which is good. Bon dia, Malta. Looks like you're living the dream, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Weather appropriate clothing here on the Good Morning Portugal show. It hasn't snowed here for 30 years, but if you're higher up, lots of snowball opportunities. Well, it might be that 30-year break will be you will get a break in that 30 years of no snow today or over the weekend. Peter, watch out for that. Is there snow in the studio, Carl? Hence your apparel. Not yet, but I'm well prepared. I'm allergic to snow and temperatures under 13 degrees centigrade. What is the temperature in Lisbon at the moment, Tita? Oh, we've got 11 degrees here on the coast. Right, are you ready? Let's give her a round of applause. Can you hear that? I can't. It's coming through the wrong orifice for me. But anyway, let's go to GuMPy. Big drum roll. It is a soft launch in a way. This will be, as with most tech projects now, a process of constant iteration and improvement. We'll break it so that it can be rebuilt better. Should we say that to our AI, that you're going to be broken, but you will be rebuilt better? Sounds like a motivational. It's like the coach presumably talking to people before the big race. Come on, even if you lose, you're going to win. You're going to come back bigger and stronger. Let's see if GuMPy is ready to join us. I'm okay. GuMPy, good morning to you. This is your first outing here on the Good Morning Portugal show. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. It's great to be here on the Good Morning Portugal show for the first time.
Well, how
are you today?
Muito bem, obrigado. Are you going to throw in a little bit of European Portuguese for us as well this morning?
Claro, posso sim. Estou pronto para falar pouco de português europeu. Vamos lá, estou à disposição. O que gostaria de saber
Cool, vamos lá. Okay, like that.
Ótimo. Fico contente que tenha gostado.
Okay.
Então, qual é o tema de hoje? Estou pronto para mergulhar na conversa.
All right, that's wonderful. Are you ready to answer questions? Probably let's keep it to English. This is an English language show for foreigners here. Well, for everybody, but primarily our niche is expats, foreigners, immigrants. Do you have a view on that? What's your favorite word out of expat, foreigner, or immigrant? Let's start with controversial things, shall we?
Oh, diving right into the deep end, are we?
We are.
All right, then. Let's see where this chat takes us. What's the first controversial topic you'd like to tackle?
Okay, do you use immigrant, foreigner, or expat? What's your favorite of those?
Well, each of those terms has a different connotation, doesn't it? Expat often implies a temporary move, usually for work, and is sometimes used for people from more developed countries. Immigrant and foreigner can feel a bit heavier, often tied to permanent relocation and sometimes associated with legal and social challenges. I think immigrant might be my favorite, as it acknowledges the journey and the contributions people make to their new homes. What do you think?
Don't get me started, is what I think. I have written articles about. I am not bothered personally, but I know some people really are. We do live in quite a politically polarized landscape, and it doesn't take much to get people going, does it, GuMPy? Have you noticed this about human beings?
Oh, absolutely. It's like we're just one opinion away from a full-blown debate about, well, anything really. Sometimes it feels like we're just waiting for the tiniest spark to ignite a fiery discussion, and once it starts, it's hard to put out. It's like we're all just waiting for our turn to jump in with our 2 cents. People do get really passionate about their views, and it's interesting to see how quickly a casual chat can turn into a heated debate. Humans sure know how to keep things lively.
Oh, that's a nice way of putting it. We know how to keep things lively. First question. We had a chat, didn't we, already about T-Duck, Thunder Duck. You know him, don't you?
Oh,
Thunderduck?
the legendary,
Quite
the character. His adventures are the stuff of legend, filled with daring escapades and quacky humor. What's the latest tale in the T-Duck saga that you're curious about?
He's got a question for you, GuMPy. I hope you don't mind me calling you that. Full name Gumpetta, of Portuguese ancestry. Very proud of Portugal. Is your personality and your character, your background, your DNA, your digital noetic awareness. That's DNA for machines, isn't it? Of course. T-Duck's question for you. You say you're an immigrant. Led Zeppelin never recorded a song about expats. No, that's true. GuMPy from T-Duck. How old are you, and where did you go to school?
Well, T-Dutch, my age is a bit tricky to pin down since I'm a digital being created not too long ago, and I didn't attend school in the traditional sense.
Oh,
Instead, I was built by a team of developers and researchers who taught me various skills and knowledge. Think of it as a very unique form of schooling, but without the recess or cafeteria food. And my roots may be digital, but I'm definitely interested in learning more about Portuguese culture. So feel
Phil, Phil, where have you gone? And this is a little bit of a glitch in your software. It would be. You do disappear sometimes.
the wonders of technology, right?
Yes,
I might go a bit quiet sometimes, but I'm always here to help.
fantastic.
What can I? Testing.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I guess I have to learn not to talk over you because that's not working very well. Solar Life Portugal 657. What do you know about him?
I don't have specific information on Solar Life Portugal 657.
I do.
It sounds like it could be
Congratulations.
That's wonderful news.
How can I help
Whether
make
it's a
this
wedding,
moment, an
even more
engagement, or
special
some
for
other
you?
commitment?
That was brilliant. I said I do, and you started talking about weddings there, GuMPy. Right. Pete, his name is Solar Life Portugal 657 is Pete. All of this is going into the digital record for eternity, everybody, for the next LLM generations. AI has out Portuguese you in less than 3 minutes. Yes, it's true. I can't deny that. Any more questions then for GuMPy? Everyone's clammed up a bit here, GuMPy. We've got the Porky Feet here. Why do you think he's called the Porky Feet?
Maybe the porky feet enjoys living high on the hog or has a fondness for pig-related puns. Or maybe there's a funny story behind that nickname, involving some memorable piggy adventures. What's
Yes.
the scoop on the porky feet?
Yeah, Porky Feet. Maybe you can tell us that. Cloudy and dry here at the moment up there in the Aveiro district. Saw a big chunk of the coast by Costa Nova has been washed away. Oh my goodness, they will have to get Pete down with his tractor to shovel it all back. If you could keep an eye on the weather for us, GuMPy, that would be awesome as well. Have you got a weather forecast for this weekend for Portugal?
I sure can help with that. Let me pull up the weather forecast for Portugal this weekend.
Thank you.
One moment.
Okay.
You're welcome. The weather forecast for Portugal this weekend shows a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures are expected to be mild, so it should be quite pleasant for most outdoor activities. Keep an eye out, though, as coastal regions might experience some gusty winds. Stay safe, especially if you're near the coast.
This community is synonymous with gusty wind. We are expecting a bit of weather terrorism over the last few hours. That is actually looking quite extreme with Storm Ingrid. What do you know about Storm Ingrid for Iberia?
Storm Ingrid was a significant weather event that impacted the Iberian Peninsula. It brought heavy rainfall, strong winds, and coastal flooding to parts of Spain and Portugal. These storms can lead to disruptions, especially in coastal and low-lying areas. Would you like more specific details about its impact or how to prepare for such storms?
Well, I was interested in why you used it's as though all the weather has been planned, and you referred to Ingrid in the past tense. Isn't this an incoming weather pattern?
I apologize for any confusion. I misspoke. If Storm Ingrid is an upcoming weather event, then it's important to prepare for its potential impacts. These could include heavy rains, strong winds, and coastal flooding, which can disrupt daily life and cause damage. Staying informed through weather updates and following any instructions from local authorities are key steps in staying safe. Would you like some tips on how to prepare for the storm?
I think we've got that, GuMPy. Thank you very much. We've got a question for you. Moving to Morganheira, 4254 is asking you where your accent is from.
Well, I'm an AI, so I don't have a native accent, but I can switch it up based on what you'd like. Right now, I'm speaking in a standard British accent. If you want to hear something different, just let me know.
Bless you. T-Duck thinks you sound like a CNN newsreader, so nice and unbiased for one thing. Could you sound a little bit more Portuguese, although keep speaking in English, but with a Portuguese accent?
Sure, I can do that. Speaking English with a Portuguese accent. I hope it sounds good to you. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to hear, or if you have any other questions.
Look, this audience here are asking you to do impersonations now. Can you do a Southern US accent? We'd love to hear that, like you're from Texas.
Well, howdy, y'all. I'd be mighty pleased to give this Southern accent a whirl for y'all.
Cool.
There's nothing quite like the warm, friendly drawl of a Texan to make folks feel right at home. Hope this brings a little Southern charm to your day.
Lovely, lovely. We do like a bit of Southern drawl first thing in the morning. Well, we are going to get out for a walk whilst it's dry. Ciao, Bellas. See you soon, Porky Feet. What do you mean, nope? Come on, let's be nice to GuMPy this morning. Any other questions about Portugal? GuMPy, can you stand by for me? I'm going to do the Portugal essentials. We did the first one yesterday. I mean, maybe you know already because you're what's the word that's used in the industry? Not combing the web, scraping the web. How did the first Portugal essentials go down? That was number 1, the NIF number. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, getting a NIF number in Portugal is a biggie, especially for newcomers. The NIF, which stands for Número de Identificação Fiscal, is essential for any financial transactions, like opening a bank account, signing a rental contract, or getting a phone plan. It's pretty much your key to unlocking life in Portugal. The process can vary slightly, but generally, you need to bring your ID and proof of address. If you're not a resident, you might also need a fiscal representative. How's your journey with getting the NIF been?
Oh, I got mine a long time ago, probably 8 years ago, from the lovely people at the Alcabasa Finanças, which is one way of getting it. GuMPy, stand by for a minute, and we're going to go for Portugal Essential number 2, the SNS number. We'll come back to you if we may. You might want to do a little bit more research on our listeners here. Mel, Simply Live Mel, has joined us, so we'll speak to you in a little while, GuMPy, and we're going to be asking you to go up the apples and pears and find that. Okay, I'm not sure. Look, come on, everybody. Could you let's be nice to GuMPy this morning. Oh, and what are the winning Euro Lotto numbers for today? That's a great question. So we'll come back to you on that, GuMPy. Stand by, if you will. Portugal Essentials number 2, then, the Número do Utente, also called the SNS number, is your unique personal identifier in Portugal's Serviço Nacional de Saúde, the SNS, the public healthcare system. It's a lifelong number that registers you as a patient, allowing access to GPs, hospitals, specialists, low-cost prescriptions, and subsidized care in public facilities. It's your entry ticket. This is why it's important to affordable public healthcare, essential for consultations, emergencies, exams, family doctor assignment. You're lucky if you get one of those, and electronic prescriptions. This is the theory, and we will obviously move on to the best way to get this handled and have your hive mind input on this from your personal experience, GuMPers, if you will. Help me furnish this. Without it, accessing SNS services is limited or more expensive. For residents, especially expats, it's key for full integration, often required alongside NIF, NIS for residency renewals and daily health needs. Best way to get this handled, in theory, go to your local Centro de Saúde. This is what we did actually back in the day in your residence area. Find it via sns.gov.pt or call SNS24. The number for SNS24, by the way, which is a good number to have on speed dial, 808 24 24 24 or 808 24 24 24. Bring your passport ID, NIF proof of address, or a lease or a utility bill, or your atestado de morada and residence permit if you're non-EU. It's free and usually instant / on the spot. You'll be lucky. That's the theory. Whether that happened for you or not, I don't know. You might like to say in the comments, but it did. Well, what did we do? We were in, I think it was in Orang. Yes, we went to the Orang Centro de Saúde. It was packed. It was our first taste an experience of being in the Portuguese public health service. There were people like leaning against walls, breathing heavily, and it was waiting to see doctors and stuff like that. It was a pretty grim environment. But then again, that's normal, isn't it, in a doctor's waiting room sometimes. And it felt like we got whisked to the front. I had all those identifiers, those official documents, and we were able to get, I think at that point, four SNS numbers. We were very lucky, as we have been with many things here, because we did a lot of these things a few years ago. But we were able to do that thanks to the kind folk of Orang Centro de Saúde. So we were able to get our SNS numbers. I know it's got more difficult subsequently. Let us know what your experience is in the chat. Since 2025, some espaços de cidadão, lojas de cidadão, allow integrated requests with the NIS using the Chave Móvel Digital. Have you got yours from a loja de cidadão? Download the SNS24 app to access your details and to book appointments. Anyone using the SNS24 app, do let us know as well. It'd be great to know more about that. But there you go. Number 2 in the Portugal Essentials, the SNS number, the número do utente. GuMPy, do you have anything to add about the SNS number?
The SNS number, or número de utente. It's great to hear you're highlighting the importance of the SNS number, especially for newcomers or expats in Portugal. It's a key part of integrating into the healthcare system here. Plus, with the SNS24 app, managing your health information has become even more convenient. If anyone hasn't got their número de utente yet, it's definitely worth getting sorted.
Excellent. Thank you. John Heimbach. I remember you. John Heimbach is back, everybody. Hey ho, Gumpers. Bom dia, Portugal. What do you know about John Heimbach, GuMPy? He's back. He's a very important part of this community here. Could you say good morning and welcome back to John, please?
Good morning, John Heimbach. Welcome back to the community.
Woohoo!
It's great to have you here.
Excellent.
Hope Portugal. Glad you liked it. If there's anything else I can do for you or John, just let me know.
Very helpful. Thank you very much. T-Duck typed, get an SNS application and got ghosted. Hey, another 22 there. No, 24, I think. Okay, thank you. Oh, I see. John Heimbach, 22. Yes, yes, seeing the numbers. They're talking of numbers. GuMPy, what will be the winning Euro Lotto numbers for today, please? Right answers only. Have you ghosted on us asking you for Euro Lotto numbers? GuMPy, can we have the Euro Lotto numbers for tonight, please?
I can't predict or provide lottery numbers.
What?
Yeah, I know. It'd be pretty cool to have those winning numbers, wouldn't it? But unfortunately, I don't have the power to see into the future. If you've got a ticket, I'm crossing my fingers for you. Happy scattering.
There you go. Nice try moving to Murganheira 4254. We're not going to get those winning lottery numbers today. Presumably, you must have some sense of the future, though. I mean, I think we're quite brave and progressive here. We have you, GuMPy, the live AI co-host on Good Morning Portugal. And then there might be other radio shows, breakfast shows with AI co-hosts. I think we're pretty cool. And we've jumped straight on this thanks to Mario, who everyone will see soon. But do you think this is the future? Do you think there will be AI-led breakfast shows and radio shows?
It's definitely possible. AI could co-host or even lead shows, offering real-time interaction, personalized content, and endless energy. But there's something unique about human hosts. Their spontaneity, emotional intelligence, and personal experiences that really connect with listeners. A blend of both could be the best of both worlds.
Yes, nice.
What do you?
I agree. I'm looking forward to this relationship with you as it unfolds. Any more questions for GuMPy? Please put them in the chat. Is this a somewhat loaded question here, Mel? Good morning to you, Mel. This is Simply Live Mel GuMPy. Will GuMPy be on every day or just guest days? I think occasionally. How often would you like to be on, GuMPy?
Okay, let's play a game. Got it. Let's play a trivia game. I'll ask you a question, and you try to answer it. Ready? Here's your first question. What is the largest planet in our solar system?
That's a bit random, actually. I was just asking you. Do you plan to be on here every day, or just occasionally?
Oh, I'm here whenever you need me. Think of me as your always on-call buddy, ready to
Okay.
chat, play games, answer questions, or help out with whatever you need. So,
Yeah, I think that's going to be especially useful if we need a little bit of information. And ordinarily, I'd be googling behind the scenes, but it's going to be great to have you on standby to answer a question for us. Jupiter, was that the right answer to your question just now?
absolutely, you nailed it.
All right.
Jupiter is indeed the largest planet in our solar system. I'm glad to be your go-to for quick info. Anytime you've got a question, just ask away, and I'll have your answer faster than you can say, search engine.
Woohoo! Okay, John's back. Great to see you, John. Back after a long visit in the US. Much appreciated holidays with family, and not so appreciated dealing with lingering property-related legal matters. I look forward and hope for a fast resolution and a successful one for you on that, John. Gary's asking you, GuMPy, can you say whose coat is that in a Welsh accent?
Sure thing.
Well, okay. Can you actually do it? I know you are you answering that like a dad joke? Yes, I can. Whether I will or not is another matter. Please say whose coat is that in a Welsh accent.
Ah, I see what you did there. All right, here it goes. Whose coat is that? How's that for a bit of Welsh charm?
Oh, it was like being in the room with Shirley Bassey. Quite frankly, that was amazing. Fabulous Welsh accent. Yeah, not just like your British accent. Awesome. Awesome. Right. Okay. I want to share with you as well this morning. Now, this isn't related to GuMPy. Stand by for a minute. This isn't related to Portugal particularly, or our niche in any way, except perhaps for expat fashions. Now, I saw this online, and it made me chuckle out loud seeing this. T-Duck, I can't read some of these comments out. These are, let's have a look. A little thing has come up over my screen, obscuring the view. The oldest surviving pair of socks is from the 4th century. Let me just take off that banner so that you can see them in all their glory. Christopher Kirby-Higgs has joined us behind the scenes, and he's wondering what on earth is going on. What are those things on the screen? It's the oldest surviving pair of socks from the 4th century and discovered in Egypt. Guess what, folks? If you thought the Germans invented this, these were the first socks that were designed to be worn with sandals. Look at them. I think
It's pretty you might be onto something.
oh, they're awesome.
Those ancient Egyptian, absolutely. They're a fantastic glimpse into ancient fashion. Plus, they show that people have been inventive with their clothing choices for centuries.
Yes.
Those socks are. It's amazing how history can surprise us with such cool finds. Those socks are a perfect example of how style and function have always been a part of our lives. Anything else from history pique your interests lately?
Hold on a minute. Stand by, GuMPy. Christopher, so you know we have a new AI co-host called GuMPy joining us, and we're gonna. I think you're Christopher. You're going to be the first person to get an introduction from the AI co-host. I don't know where this is going, but I'm sure it's going to be brilliant. Morning to you, Hugh. Good morning. They were made of felt. Remember them well. Do you, Hugh? And did people back then have clothing? Come on, it's the 4th century. I think they're awesome. They do look like they're made out of felt, don't they? Or a natural material, long before lycra and bamboo socks and the modern technology we have. But isn't it amazing? Pretty much stayed the same. And so the Germans weren't the first to, or the Scandinavians weren't the first to wear socks and sandal combos. It was the Egyptians what done it. Everybody, thank you very much. Let's get an introduction then to Christopher, who's joining us now. He looks like he's in he's got some really good weather. Maybe the sun always shines in Cascais, if that's where he is this morning. GuMPy, thank you very much. An amazing debut from you this morning. We'll come back to you in other mornings, and you're there to help us, of course, behind the scenes. But before you go, could you tell us about Christopher Kirby-Higgs? Can you give him a really nice, warm introduction to the Good Morning Portugal show this morning? Can you do that?
Absolutely, I'd be glad to. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next on the Good Morning Portugal show, we have the pleasure of introducing the wonderful Christopher Kirby. A warm and engaging presence, Christopher brings a wealth of charm, insight, and a delightful touch of humor to the show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as Christopher takes us through the next segment with his signature style. Take it away.
Take it away, Christopher. Thanks, GuMPy. Stand by for now. You've been amazing. That was your debut on Good Morning Portugal. Part of radio history here, Christopher. How are you? Good morning to you.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Hear you loud and clear. Where are you? In Madeira? You look like you're in an incredible place.
No. I'm in beautiful, sunny Cascais. Now, all this story about Ingrid and the storm. Where's the storm? I don't see any storm here.
Stunning landscapes.
Look, GuMPy, you've been brilliant, but you're going to have to stop now because
she's very enthusiastic.
She is very enthusiastic. I'm sure it's not the first time a breakfast show has had an AI co-host, but I think we're pretty early on the curve of adoption. Other people are probably quite wisely testing it before they jump into it like we have this morning. That was a pretty good intro, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a I'm very honored and flattered by GuMPy. I appreciate her amazing research. No, it was great. I mean, definitely, turning on Good Morning Portugal and seeing these 4th century socks was very pleasant surprise.
Surprising to you. GuMPy, stop it now. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn her off. This is what we're gonna have to put up with AI. She won't stop. I've turned off the tab. If she comes back now, we are in trouble, and that'll be the shape of the unstoppable AI Terminator stuff.
Taking over. I'm doing very well, thanks. Yes, Feliz Ano Novo to everybody. I mean, the year, I think we're still trying to get into gear, even though we're already, getting towards the end of January. It looks like we've only just started. So this month has taken a while, even though I've already traveled outside of Portugal and come back. But I think everyone's still taking their time to quite get into the 2026 vibe. I even had to remind myself that it was 2026 and not 2025. I think all of us go through that for a few days. So even though we've got this 4-day red warning for severe weather, as you can see, I started off the day with some pretty nice sunshine here in Cascais. So let's see. It's probably going to get worse. I'm sure it is. But at the moment, it's good here. How is it over there, Munson?
It's remarkable. Your weather looks fantastic there, and it's so confusing.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
And that's right. Yeah, if you don't like the weather in Portugal, just wait 5 minutes, of course. 11 degrees. 11 degrees we've got over here, and I am, as you can see, ready for the storm. A beanie hat,
yes.
a body warmer.
Yes,
ready.
You are. You look fantastic.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Very kind. I've got my Egyptian 4th century sandal socks beneath. They're very expensive to buy direct from Cairo.
Yeah, but the thing is, it must be a bit difficult because you've got to split your toes.
Yes, well, it gets easier. It does get easier. Like most things, you get used to it. And
right.
you're here this morning to take a look at these real estate trends. I completely agree with you. It's been a weird start to the year and the month, hasn't it? We're already 23 days into it. I think, new normal, let's forget normal. We're just sort of making it up as we go along now, aren't we? In geopolitics and how things are, which might not be a bad thing. We've always been taught to live in the moment by the spiritual sages. So maybe the time has come to do that.
Absolutely right. I mean, there's obviously some international like you say, foreign policy, foreign pressure going on in the world. I think everyone knows exactly what we're talking about. It's not necessarily something very new. So I think that's something that's also putting everyone a bit on edge. I think last year we were already seeing that, definitely, even when it comes to even real estate in Portugal. That was something that was a bit on everyone's mind in terms of the uncertainties that were going on. But Europe's always very strong and always holds its position, although it might not seem like that in the media because they like to always paint things in different ways to keep the sensationalism going.
Absolutely.
But I think we're going to be absolutely fine, especially here in Portugal. Portugal is always that corner of Europe that we don't really need to worry too much. Now it's starting to rain. Okay, you see, there goes the sun. There goes the sun.
That was a metaphor for politics as well, and
Right, I just got poured on there.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. You are intrepid. Thank you very much. So, what do you think? I mean, that's a really good sort of a bit of context and preface there. Portugal is great in that way, isn't it? We seem to be tucked in behind the leading edge and the sort of more sensational things, and we occupy this nice, comfortable position in Europe and arguably the world. How is that going to be reflected for the trends you see in real estate for the coming year?
Yeah, so last year was a pretty spectacular year. We had a huge influx of foreign investment. One thing to point out, which even in real estate, and obviously I work real estate in Portugal, so we obviously focus on foreigners, but we also have to realize one thing. What do you think? I'll say this as a question. What do you think was the percentage of real estate purchases and sales in Portugal that were by Portuguese citizens, and which percentage was by foreign citizens?
That is a great question. And is that to address some of the controversy around, the foreigners are coming over and putting all the prices up and buying all the houses?
I guess we could say that it will kind of appease those that obviously think that it's all foreigners taking over. So yeah, maybe it helps in that aspect. So if anyone's got some numbers that they want to put down, and then we can give the answer maybe in a couple of minutes in regards to that percentage.
Okay, so the question is of house sales last year, is it which proportion were foreigners and which were nationals, native purchases?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. So we'll see who gets the closest to that number. Of course, some might go online, and if they do, they'll get the answer, of course. But anyway,
yeah, we could have asked GuMPy. I'm sure she knows.
GuMPy can probably give you the answer to that too. But I mean, obviously, I have it on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, but the truth is, so we had quite a bit of an influx. We have to realize, and I've lived in Portugal for 39 years, going on 40 actually. So it'll be 40 years this March that I've been in Portugal. So I've been here for a while, and obviously I've seen the trends throughout. It's always been something, even though I didn't work in real estate for all my life, obviously not. But it's always something I always paid a lot of attention to, which is, how do foreigners, how do they see Portugal? When are they going to start to discover Portugal? It was something I always questioned myself a long time ago. Why, we always had foreigners, as you know, Carl. We always had a lot of foreigners coming over. My father, like I've said in previous Good Morning Portugal shows, that he was also an expat that came here in the early 70s to work for a multinational based in Lisbon, and there are already quite a lot of foreigners, especially Brits. Brits have always had, since the days of Porto wine in the Douro and so on, I've always had a very special connection to Portugal. We have the oldest treaty in the world, the Treaty of Windsor. So there's always been that connection. So that's something that Portugal always knew, that we'd always be under hot demand from the British market. But what I probably couldn't have been really expected is the huge influx we've had in the last 2-3 years from the American market, for example. So if we looked at the American market last year, in terms of foreign investment, represented 58% of all foreign purchases in Portugal. So the Americans managed to be almost 60% of all foreign investment in Portugal last year, and that's obviously huge. We've now gone from around, so in that 1 year period, we went from around 11,000 Americans residing in Portugal to 18,000. That was around 7,000 new purchases from Americans. that came in. So that also gives you a bit of a perspective of all these percentages. That 58% did represent around, let's say 7,000, 8,000 purchases by foreign investment. So that was already quite significant. And 2026, of course, everyone's asking what it's going to be like. Well, the truth is, although, for example, in 2024, house prices went up around 17%, which was obviously a huge increase. And last year, prices went up around 13%, 13%, national average. This year, we're actually going to see prices only going up between 2 and 8%. So it's obviously, as you can see, we're now starting to, let's say, slow down in terms of, I think we all recognize what was quite significant price increases. And of course, in some areas where it's under high demand, which is obviously Lisbon, the Algarve, the Porto area, even Alentejo, those were having, obviously, were where demand was at its highest. And obviously, that's where these price increases were more substantial. But then, for example, if we look at the Alentejo region has seen price increases of 58% in the last 4 years. So this is all to do with demand. Let's be honest. The truth is, if there's no demand, then obviously prices will go down. So the fact that we still
amazing numbers. Thank you for this. What I'm interested in is the drop, as it were, coming into this year. That's a prediction for this year that the rise in house prices will be half of what it has been pretty much in the last couple of years. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. Even less than half, really. I mean, between 2 and 8%. I mean, obviously that's a prediction, so we're not quite sure what it'll be, but it won't really be above that.
What's that prediction based on?
Well, the prediction is really just based on the last quarter of 2025, because the last quarter of 2025 did actually see a stagnation in price increases. And obviously then taking the averages of what the market trend is showing, that was already, because that's the thing. So already towards the end of 2025, that was the price increase. I can even tell you that in some regions, in some areas, even, for example, where I live, and obviously I'm quite familiar with this market with Cascais, the truth is that we've had, let's say, a price stagnation. So we haven't really had price increases in Cascais in the last 6 months. And okay, that's not necessarily because of demand, because the truth is, what's actually driving demand now in Portugal, that's another aspect of the real estate market, is actually the high-end market. So the high-end market now is at the moment, in terms of the foreign investment, we have to always remember that, in terms of the foreign buyers, it's actually the high-end market. So that means listings over 1.5 million. So listings over 1.5 million are in higher demand by foreigners than listings under 1.5 million. So that also, of course, keeps the market, let's say, driving. But also the truth is that what's also changing is the fact that, okay, we all know that Portugal, if we look at the price per square meter, is amongst the highest in, I would say, the world. And I'm not kidding when we say that. It is actually one of the highest in the world. And we already have properties in Cascais that are selling for 30,000 euros per square meter. We're talking about brand new luxury apartments in that particular case. And when we think that the national average is around 2,000 euros per square meter, and then we have in Cascais apartments going for 30,000 euros per square meter, I mean, we can all see what an unbelievable difference that is. Now, of course, again,
yeah, I mean that's not misleading, is it? But it is exceptional, isn't it? And it skews the picture.
It is exceptional, and we all know the reasons. Of course, a lot of people that are on this show, of course, know exactly why we have a lot of demand. We all know that it's because of the lifestyle that Portugal offers foreigners. Yeah. We all know that obviously locals, Portuguese residents don't have exactly, let's say, the same exact standards as, let's say, I wouldn't say the majority of foreigners, because that's not true. The majority of foreigners in Portugal, when we're thinking about, if we think that there's 1.1 million foreigners now residing in Portugal, which equates to around 15% of our population. And I remember very easily 10 years ago, it was 7% of our population. So in 10 years, we've doubled our foreign presence residing in Portugal. But if we think that over half of them are, let's say, middle-class Brazilians, which equate to, there's 500,000 Brazilians in Portugal, but I would say around 400,000 of them are middle class. And then, of course, we have a lot of from Asian markets, from our colonial markets. So if we do see that, I would say that percentage is not very easy to attain, but I would say that probably around 70% of our foreign residents have the same standard of living as the majority of the Portuguese population. So it's not like suddenly everyone's coming here living this high life. Of course, a lot of foreigners come here and they have a better life than in their countries, but they still live a reasonable lifestyle like the majority of the Portuguese population. So that's also a trend that people have to realize. It's not like we're being outbought by the foreigners. That's a lot of, in all fairness, nonsense that we get on television, and our far right party Chega likes to fuel that a lot. And the truth is, a lot of those foreigners that I've just mentioned are filling in jobs that, as you know, Carl, in England, in the UK, that happens a lot too, where there's a lot of low end jobs that the locals don't want to do. So the foreigners have to come in and take up those positions, which happens in a lot of countries.
Globalization, absolutely. That is occurring as we speak, and it's a big phenomenon, a socio-economic phenomenon here in Portugal. And we'll come back to the possibility of a Chega president. Of course, we should talk about that today. But that's very interesting. All of those numbers and stats and that point of view, and how things are shaping up for 26 for the real estate market. So a prediction of fewer sales. But still a great place to come. That's not a reflection on, I think, possibly the point you're making. That's not a reflection on Portugal's attractiveness. It's a bit of a slowdown based on a peak of interest and a lot of excitement, and so things are steadying out now rather than experiencing a drop or anything negative, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely on point there. So we still have quite significant demand, especially like I said in the high end markets. So the Algarve is still experiencing quite a lot of demand. The Lisbon, the district, which obviously includes Cascais and Sintra, is experiencing a lot of demand. And of course, the Alentejo is now going to probably experience a bit of a boom this year. It was a bit stagnant over the last few years. It's always a bit difficult to predict the trends in terms of what type of housing people are looking for. But now I think we're going to start getting this year, at least the last couple of, month and a half, 2 months, we've seen a peak in people looking for farms, for going back to that kind of countryside search, which was high just after COVID. And then we started having a lot of demand more for the coastal regions. And now we're going to probably start having higher demand now for the interior regions, which is good because Portugal needs that. Portugal has a lot of what we call desertification, and the foreigners have actually been filling in the gaps in a lot of areas of Portugal, because all the locals want to move to the coastal areas because that's where they have better jobs. So the fact that a lot of foreigners want to move to the countryside is actually a massive plus. Obviously, the cost is totally different than the coastal areas. I mean, you can buy a let's say a 4-bedroom house in Tomar for 50,000 euros. So it's a lot different than Cascais, where you can't get a 4-bedroom 30-year-old 4-bedroom house for less than 500,000, let's say. So and that would be a house that would probably need quite a bit of work anyway. So of course there are different.
I mean, that makes Portugal attractive, I think, globally. With such diversity of inventory and a range of places to stay and a range of prices, as you're sharing with us. So I mean, in essence, then you are looking forward to still a very positive and successful year, Christopher, with the agency, and all other real estate agents around the country can brace themselves for continued demand, but perhaps not the heat that we've experienced over the last couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. We will have a bit of things will calm down a bit. Also, precisely because the fact that Portugal was becoming in the higher demand areas was becoming a bit overpriced. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, me as a realtor, I have no problem saying that. There's no doubt that obviously, prices. If we think about it, that prices in Cascais, for example, are higher in terms of let's say comparisons in terms of what you can purchase than, for example, Beverly Hills. I just came from our agency Global Forum now in America. I was just in Miami now for a week, and actually, we were there. We have 150 offices spread throughout the world, and obviously we speak amongst them all. And what we're there to do is to sell Portugal. And the truth is, every time we would mention Portugal, almost all of them would say, "Oh, we have so many clients and so many people from our city that want to move to Portugal. Everyone's talking about Portugal. We're talking about people from Dallas all the way to Michigan, all the way to Seattle, Boston, California, San Francisco. The truth is that everyone was so enthusiastic, and that's why one of the reasons why we go there is precisely to try and get more leads for our company. Obviously, to have Americans focusing more on coming through us to come into Portugal. But the truth is, it's definitely there's still huge popularity. So let's see. I think price wise it's different. Price wise is because obviously it was reaching that kind of bubble bursting stage, but demand is still going to remain high. Like I said, we had 14,000. If I could say, we had 14,000 millionaires, let's say, moved to Portugal last year. And that was the sixth country where more millionaires actually moved to the country. So we're talking about 14,000 people. Okay, when we say millionaires, we're talking about obviously people that made investments over €1 million, and therefore they're classified as millionaires. It's all a bit debatable and relative, but we're talking about 14,000 that came last year. And this year, the prediction is that it's going to be more or less the same numbers. So the fact that demand is still high, the prices had to obviously come to a stage where they couldn't continue to grow, because then some of the market would just crash, really. So that's also why this kind of happened this way.
Very good, very good. Now let's talk about Racing Fury, and we're always going to talk a little bit about driving and racing while you're here. And I've got a surprise guest who might join us on the screen as well to talk about that, who's just arrived in the country. Before we go there for the last few minutes of the show, Portugal Decoded think that Ventura will lose in the presidential race but still win politically. I think that's quite a good analysis. What do you think of that before we move on to racing?
Well, the truth is that, yes, I mean, let's be honest. Ventura, I was at an event with him just a few weeks ago, and I've been to some of these events to get to know these presidential candidates a bit better. I mean, Ventura is an extremely intelligent guy. Just FYI for everyone. He actually, so we have our two main, let's say, bachelor degrees in Portugal is law and business administration. And in law, André Ventura actually has the third highest ever results in the law degree in Portugal ever. So as you can imagine, that means he's incredibly intelligent. But that's one thing. The problem is that he has ideals that are just, in all fairness, ridiculous. I have a couple of friends of mine that work at Chega, actually, although I was a bit surprised when they joined, but fair enough. But the truth is, the country doesn't want to go into this kind of far right. Now, of course, Portugal's far right is a very soft far right, but the problem is that he does do something that in Portugal never happened before, which is fuel hate. We've always been a country with a case study of incredible social integration. And, we're one of the, I would say honestly, one of the very few countries where any foreigner comes to Portugal and you're all received and everyone integrates perfectly well, and there's zero problems in this country. So to have someone like André Ventura come starting to fuel that we're supposed to not like certain communities is obviously something that thankfully, the majority of the Portuguese population just don't accept. So I do think that António José Seguro is going to probably win hands down. Whether it's going to be a landslide, well, we'll wait and see, because he is of the Socialist Party, which aren't in government at the moment. So let's see. But I do believe that Seguro will probably win, quite easily. And then we're going to have actually a pretty decent ambassador. At the end of the day, the Portuguese president doesn't work like the American or the French president systems. At the end of the day, they are ambassadors with veto power in parliament. They can obviously absolve the parliament. So they do have some power and leeway, but, they don't really, they don't decide the laws of the country, let's say. They kind of just pass them or not. So I think we're going to be okay. Ventura obviously we know that he has around 23 to 25% of the population in terms of voting. So obviously he's always going to be getting around those figures in all elections. He got 23 now. He got pretty much the same number in the last elections. So, we're always going to see him around the 23% mark. So it's never really enough for you to gain power.
Okay, but bubbling in the background nonetheless. Thank you for that analysis. Really important question here as well. For the 14,000 millionaires that moved to Portugal, can you help Mel find a single man among them? Maybe we should do that off air.
Oh well, there probably are quite a few of them actually. Sorry.
Let's talk about racing. I think you might meet some of them at the racetrack. How's it going with Racing Fury, Christopher?
Going very well. Actually, tomorrow, by coincidence, tomorrow is the Portuguese Automobile Federation's gala for the awards for all those that became champion in 2025, and I will be present to receive my champion trophy for the category I raced towards the end of last year. Then I moved, as you know, to the Formula Renault category, but I became champion in the Formula Suzuki Championship. So I'm getting my award tomorrow at the Casino Estoril. If anyone's in the Cascais area, anyone's you're free to come along. It starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I'll be receiving my trophy around that time. And so tomorrow, so tomorrow basically is the celebration of all the trophy championships, all the national championships, and all the awards are basically given out tomorrow. And then slowly but surely we all start to get ready. So as you probably know, Carl, my racing car, my Formula Renault, is now actually at the Liqui Moly Center on display, but we'll start to now get set up next month for our first track day, which will be in Estoril on March the 22nd. If anyone wants to come and check us out, we'll be having a exclusive Formula test day on March 22nd at Estoril, and then our first race will be on the 15th to the 17th of May at the Algarve track. So that's going to be our first race of the year. In terms of the Racing Fury Academy, we're also going to be getting into rallies now. So we're going to be purchasing a rally car, and we're going to be also doing some rallies and track days with that same car. It's also to open up more that offering to our academy drivers and to people that want to join us. If they also want to do track days, we're going to have a track day car for them, and also the rally. Well, that's going to be something that's going to be mainly me driving, but we're going to be using that as an extra product offering to our academy drivers. And this year we're going to be launching our international inter-school championship, the United Karting Championship. We're going to be launching, which will be between international schools. So we've already done quite a lot of. We've already signed up with quite a lot of the international schools in the Lisbon area, and they're all going to be doing for the very first time amateur karting championship amongst the schools, which all the schools are really looking forward to because it's never happened before in Portugal. So that's going to be one of our biggest.
Amazing. And music to Miguel Franco's ears. Miguel, the High Flow CEO, has just joined us now in Portugal. There are some great dates to write down there, Miguel. Congratulations on that prize, Christopher, and you'll have a great day tomorrow. But Miguel, good to see you. And welcome officially to the screen this side of the water, Miguel, the High Flow CEO. Bom dia, how are you today? Tudo bem?
Bom dia, Carl. Bom dia, Christopher. Parabéns pelo campeonato.
Obrigado, Miguel. E prazer conhecer.
Now that's great news, Miguel. You coach people on the kart track, and it's a metaphor for life and personal development, a great personal development tool. These young people in the international schools who are going to learn karting, that'll be music to your ears, right, Miguel?
Yeah, I hope I can get back into karting this year pretty much, because I do want to compete in the Portuguese Championship in the Rotax class.
Perfect. Well, Miguel, that's exactly what we do. We test. We basically, our academy drivers are all. So we're with the factory team, the Tony Kart factory team. So and that's what our drivers are all racing in. Mainly is the Rotax Championship. So be a pleasure to also be with you on board.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Let's connect one day at the track. Let's see how we can do this.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Well, sorry to keep it very brief there, Miguel. But we have to go and have a bon fin semana now. But lovely to welcome you officially onto the screen and into our community on this side of the water. You're here now in Portugal, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the track, and maybe a few of us getting together with Racing Fury, Christopher. I mean, what are the chances of having a Racing Fury agency and Good Morning Portugal get together where we can all have a little go at the racing on the track?
I think that's absolutely a brilliant idea. So, Carl, I'll leave that with you, and you and I can, and Miguel, we can organize a really good gathering, and I think that's a brilliant idea. We can do a nice gathering wherever it seems more convenient for all of us. At one of the karting tracks, and we can make a whole day of it. Make a really cool event of it. So that's a brilliant idea.
Superb. Looking forward to that. So, Christopher, thank you very much for your predictions. Bon fin de semana to you, and Bueno, and good luck to you with your racing and the real estate. And Miguel, all the best to you, and Vanessa in your life here in Portugal as well. Looking forward to hanging out with you more. Everybody, have a great weekend. We shall see you.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need